My name is Tom Nichols. I'm an executive producer at LucasArts. Star Wars: The Old Republic represents the first time that real storytelling it comes to the MMO genre. With partnership with Bioware and LucasArts together with Bioware's great tradition of storytelling games and Star Wars, of course, and LucasArts' tradition of storytelling as well, what we feel we've got the opportunity to do is drive story in the MMO genre for the first time. It's always been a hallmark of RPGs. You really haven't seen that in MMOs as much, and that's what this game is really about. Storytelling is a key part of the Old Republic, and we deliver it to you in multiple ways. First of all, every class in the game is going to have their own unique story. So if you play an Empire class, and then later on, when you get advanced, you want to re-roll a character and start on the Republic side, you'll have an entirely different story, meet entirely new NPCs, and you won't have any duplicative content whatsoever. Also, story is important to us because we have 100% VO in the game. So whether it's an NPC that you're talking to or your own player character, all the conversations in the game will be voiced over with professional actors and everything. So that just provides an additional layer of immersion that just draws you into the experience. Combat in the Old Republic is heroic, and that's really our kind of vision for driving combat in the game. You'll feel very powerful right off the bat. You'll be able to handle multiple groups of enemies at the same time. So whereas in other MMOs you might stay away from an encounter when it's 1 against 3 or 4, in the Old Republic you'll have enough power to feel heroic and to take on mobs like that and be able to do it quite successfully right from the start of the game. In addition to great storytelling and our partnership with Bioware and bringing the quality and the polish of the game that we expect from a great Bioware game, I think what also sets apart the Old Republic from other MMOs is the art style. It's got a very distinctive look. It's what we call stylized realism, and some of the art that's on our website provides good examples of that, where in the world, some of the worlds, for example, like on Hutta, the planet of Hutta, feels very painterly when you come into that world, and you see all the colors of clouds and the buildings, and the art style gives the game something very unique, separates us from other Star Wars games, which is important for us, also separates us from other MMOs. When you start playing the Old Republic, again, you'll have a different class story for every single class that you play in the game. So if you start the game as a bounty hunter, for example, you'll learn about the Great Hunt, and that's your initial context for all the quests and missions that you'll be doing in the game. When you start as a Jedi, you'll learn about taking the next steps of the trials and becoming a Jedi Knight. So those are, when you start the game, those are the important story elements right from the beginning of the game. And then you'll just, from there, what you'll find is that character progression, combat, exploration, those are kind of the key pillars, if you will, of successful MMOs and RPGs. Those are all there, just as you would expect, and they're mixed with story to provide a very rich experience that just gives you a whole new MMO feel.